Oh, hi there, and welcome to the Blackswan Relationship Academy. Today, I will be covering empathy and not touching on empaths as such, but just the emotion of empathy and how we can really tap in to form stronger, more meaningful connections with our partners, with our friends, because we focus mostly on romantic relationships. That is what I'll be talking about. So join me right after this. Well, hello, and welcome back to the Blackswan Relationship Academy. My name is Sibanda. I am one of the coaches here at the Academy, as well as a style concierge. And I'm an intuitive style concierge. So I really work pretty much all of these things that I'm talking about with understanding empathy within self, understanding empathy with others, and how that plays into your style. But we will not be going there for today. That's for another video, which will be coming shortly. But today I really want to focus on how empathy can be a superpower in transforming relationships. So when I look down, I'm reading notes because I don't want to stay off track, just like I just did. But before we go into it, do like, share, comment, and subscribe here on this YouTube channel. If you want to get in touch with any one of us, all the links and everything you need after this conversation are in the description box. Yes? But before you do that, do like, share, comment, subscribe. Let's join the party. So I was saying that before, empathy in this particular video, I'm not talking about empaths, and I'm not talking about the deeper side and the multidimensional ways and layers in which empathy shows up. I'm just talking of it as just a basic human emotion and a basic human need to feel like you belong somewhere, to connect with other people. And that's the key thing really when it comes to relationships, because you want to feel like you connect, right? And especially for those of you who are doing online dating, especially in 2024, we're not wasting time sitting around and wondering if I should go on a fourth date with this guy. We are literally incorporating all these things that we learn. And if you were not on the Dark Feminine Masterclass, girl, you missed. Like, where were you? I mean, I know some were at work, obviously, and some were still waking up, depending on what zone you were in. It's like, it was one of those courses that is so transformational, and you literally need, just go and download it. Yeah, so you can understand how you can also, because these are all layers. There's layers to us. We're such multi-dimensional people, and empathy in itself is such a multi-dimensional construct that weaving it into all these things that you're learning within the Blackswan Relationship Academy requires an art. And in most cases, a coach. And in most cases, requires you to just be consistent, because as you go from someone who was consciously unable to understand, consciously unaware, or subconsciously unaware, all the way to consciously aware, because you need all these tools to come along with you. I will put a disclaimer as well, because like everything in life, there's always layers. There's layers, there's theories, and there's also background and context. So this is just a generalization of how empathy can play a role in how you communicate on your dates, how you communicate in your relationship, and how you harness it to get the best that kind of suits you and your partner. So when we demonstrate empathy in our interactions, we encourage deeper connections, trust and understanding, as well as, I mean, this can be used in both professional and personal settings. And it's also something that you need as a cornerstone of your relationship kit to tackle conflict resolution and have effective communication. Because when you're empathetic, you are able to see the perspective from someone else's view. There's always this thing about how sympathy and empathy differ, in that with empathy, if I could kind of give you a visual, is like you literally stepping into the other person's shoes. You may not know the full story, but empathy is really about understanding where this person is coming from. And when you do that, you start to ask relevant questions. You start to ask about things like what excites them in life, and to see how you fit in their world. So according to Daniel Goleman's model of emotional intelligence, empathy comprises both cognitive empathy, and us is understanding another person's perspective and emotions, and emotional empathy. So again, it's like understanding that logically this is what is going on, and realizing that this is going on, but also feeling it from an emotional heart perspective. So your head and heart are engaged in all of these activities, therefore your body is engaged too. And emotional empathy, which is experiencing similar emotions to another person. And this distinction helps us to understand how we can relate and connect to others on an emotional level. And there's also a researcher called Carl Rogers, who emphasized the importance of empathy in therapeutic relationships. This is kind of relationships where they become part of someone's healing, as well as coaches. We also need to exercise our empathic muscles when we're coaching. Rogers' person-centered therapy underscores the significance of the therapist's empathic understanding and unconditional positive regard in facilitating client growth and healing. This concept extends to various relationships, and this is how it actually highlights that empathy allows you to create a supportive and nurturing environment. And basically all our coaches here at the Blackswan Relationship Academy are trauma informed. Some of us have been through some stuff, which allows us to even step further into that empathetic role. So I don't want to deliberate too much about the definitions and all of that. I really want you to kind of understand how you can then apply empathy in your life. And it's as part of a social psychology concept. And there's this guy called Daniel Batson who suggests that empathetic concern for others can lead to altruistic behavior. And this theory really elevates how empathy motivates you to help and support others, thereby strengthening your relationships and communal bonds. Because at the end of the day, if you kind of look at the hierarchy of needs by Maslow, belonging is one of them. And how we belong is not just on a logical level, it's on a heart level, it's on an empathetic level, it's on a soul level. Again, like I said, it's so layered that you really need to take time to understand your own mechanism and how you can allow the people around you to connect with you. So empathy activates regions that are associated within our mind, regions that are associated with emotional processing and perspective taking, and this allows us to coexist in our worlds, because we need to coexist, right? We're not, what's that saying about no man is an island? You're always going to interact with someone whether you like them or not, but empathy allows you to understand them from whatever perspective, and also allows you to enhance your understanding, compassion, and connection. And it really fosters healthy and fulfilling relationships. And that's what we're all about. The goal is to have healthy and fulfilling relationships. So you ask me, okay, Unique, yeah, I've heard about empathy and da-da-da-da. So how do I apply this when I am dating? I'm going on a date tomorrow, met this guy online. How do I apply that to that scenario? It's really about building rapport. You're researching if this person is fit for purpose, fit to be in your life, and you understand that you might not be fit for their life. So building rapport allows you to kind of take a step back. Okay, this is what I want. Let me actually hear what the other person wants in a relationship. Let me ask the right questions, giving you an example, like not like what do you do, more like what excites you in life. You know, what makes you come alive? What is that thing that gives you so much joy and activates a smile on your face? What is that? What you're doing here is allowing someone to really go into their emotions and connect emotionally rather than logically. Because you ask me, what do I do? I'm a coach. It's like very cutthroat answers. There's nothing more to it. But if you ask me, what do I do? If I love helping women connect with their partners. I love seeing relationships blossom, especially that those kind of didn't have much hope. And I love seeing women really tune in to their true essence and discover their style, discover their femininity, and embrace it all, and embrace and integrating their masculine side as well as their feminine side. I love that. So that's a whole conversation from which you can then pick out to say, oh, that's very interesting. And we love to build a bit of mystery and intrigue and excitement, and conversations like that allow you to do that. And when you're being empathetic, you're building a foundation of trust and intimacy, because you're trying to understand each other's perspectives, and you also have to be sensitive to their feelings when you're answering questions. It's really that high value feminine quality, which is what we end up calling it. We call it that high value feminine quality, where you're able to engage and allow someone to just be themselves, allow conversation to flow, and really allow each other to have the most amazing time. And when we talk about now that you've done the dating process and you're now boyfriend and girlfriend, and as the relationship progresses, it becomes essential to navigate challenges and conflicts. There's always things that are going to come up. And unfortunately, we have been taught to come in with an accusatory stance. We just go in, this is what you do, I don't like what you do, No, if you are that girl, you're gonna need to download the Blackswan Relationship Academy course called How to Speak to a Man So He Can Listen. Yes, take notes. How to speak to a man so they can listen. And it's not just a man. I know someone in the comments, but it's about how to communicate effectively. Men communicate on a very different level to us. It's normally first logic, then heart, whereas we go from heart to logic. We have to understand each other, right? We have to understand each other. And as a feminine woman, it's up to you to vet and select a man who can understand and be a support for you. Because masculine energy is all about support and uplifting and being a container for all this gloriousness that you are, and I mean, empathy allows you to dig deep within yourself first, which I always recommend. Book a coach, book a discovery call, find out what your triggers are, find out, because only empathy will allow you to do that. Empathy with self, empathy with your situation, empathy with other people, how you then communicate with other people. So say you're now boyfriend and girlfriend, so it's a whole thing of leading effective communication and a mutual support, and recognizing, being able to validate each other. And I know sometimes I don't need validation from a man. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, honey. You need a man that can come in and rub your shoulders. I mean, the other day I kind of went through some stuff and hearing some bad news. All I needed was just a hug. Like literally all I needed was just a hug. And these are the things that if you have effective communication, you can tell your partner, babe, I don't even need any conversation today. I just need you to just hold me, hug me, rub my back, give me a few minutes of your time, give me your undivided attention. And it's about understanding, okay, how can I help you to be able to give me those things that I need when I need them? Because most men just want to come in and fix it. So again, how to speak to men so that they listen? Description box. Yes, go and download it. Even if you don't finish this video, just go and download that to start off with. Yeah. And same applies to committed relationships and going into engagement and marriage, because now this is a phase where you're involving other people who are in your partner's life, and people in your life. You're now involving all of them, and it becomes a community of understood empathy, understood emotions, understood concerns. And you ask yourself, do I fit into this particular community? Because it's really all about community, and we always need to find ways of how we can thrive in community. The way we are wired as human beings, from the time we literally get out of our mother's womb, we are wired to connect. We spend the first few months watching, okay, this is what I need to survive in this situation. You're watching how your parents are interacting, how your siblings are interacting. You're watching how aunties and uncle interact to form what is considered as your social cues for this particular community for you to exist in. You go into a new job, same thing. You spend a bit of time assessing how do you fit in, especially for introverts like some of us. It takes us time to kind of really assimilate into the environment because you're looking to see, how do I fit into this situation? And the same as my passion, honestly, is really women who've experienced some kind of abuse, in being able to open up and empathetically and be with someone rather than being triggered. Over the years as a coach, even outside and within the practice, I've had so many stories of men who only discovered that their wives went through some traumatic experience in their early years and then haven't been able to open up and an example I can think of, I've kind of decided, okay, I'm going to wait until I'm married, and kind of used their faith as a way to spiritually bypass their trauma. So much so when you get into the situation, it's now a matter of it's hard to actually open up and connect. And empathy on the husband's perspective. And you know what? There are men who've been abused as well. So it's not just women only. From the perspective of the man, this is where you need empathy. You may not know exactly what she went through, the pains, who it was, but this is how to allow her to feel safe again. Because again, as I was saying earlier, it's about our hierarchy of needs. There's belonging. There's also wanting to feel seen and heard and listened to, and safety. Safety will come in so many different forms, because for her to open up physically, she needs to first open up emotionally. She needs to first open up logically, mentally, for her to be able to be receptive of the affection that this man is giving. I don't want to go too deep into that, because that deserves a whole other topic on its own. And this is where you can kind of discuss things like that when you join the Blackswan Nation. So download the app or book a discovery call and have conversations with coaches who are aware of trauma, who can help you build resilience, because it's not like we will let you forget what happened, or we'll wipe it away. This never happened to you. You're a new creation. The problem is the memory will still be there. The memory and your body stores that trauma within it. You may have forgotten yourself, but when you watch yourself, you'll see yourself flinching each time a guy comes to caress you. It's because that trauma is stored in your body. And also, before I forget, there's also our trauma counselor, Shani, who you might want to book a discovery call with, because for you to be able to reconnect and connect with someone, you need to unlock and open up and pull down those walls that you have built over the years, right? And like she's amazing. Like she has coached some of us as well. She has done sessions with some of us, and it doesn't even need 10 sessions. You just need that one session to open things up for you. So I was going to touch on Chengi did a masterclass on dark feminine energy on Saturday. Like I said, if you missed it, girl, where were you? Hi. But before I go ahead, I'm just gonna drop this right here, and I'll be back after it later. So
thank you so much for your support of this channel. You mean the world to me, and I am so grateful that your likes, your subscriptions, your comments make this work possible. I'd really want to encourage you, before you go any further, if you are enjoying this content, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with somebody that you know will absolutely benefit, because you're changing not only your life, not only the life of your friends, but the lives of women all over the world, and children in ways you cannot even begin to imagine. So don't forget, before we get back to the program, to hit that like button and share, subscribe, and comment.
So welcome back. I hope you have liked, you have shared, you have subscribed, and you have joined the family of the Blackswan Relationship Academy. My name is Sibanda, and I am a coach here at the Blackswan Relationship Academy. I am also your style concierge. Now let's dive into dark feminine energy. How do I apply empathy and all of these things to this? How do I integrate myself as a whole being, right? And the The whole thing in dating about embracing feminine energy is being unapologetically authentic about your desires. Talking about sex does not mean you want to have sex. And some of us need to own that. You need to own that, yeah, it's a desire of mine. It's a desire, but with the right person. Even if the conversations start to stray, which most men love doing, it's about, you can entertain the conversation, but yes, sometimes you can put boundaries on there. Like, you know what? Of course, with my boyfriend or with my husband or whatever your standards are, with my man, we'll be getting all down and dirty, girl. There's nothing stopping me. But for you right now, it's just the first date. And it's just that whole thing of owning your desires, owning your authenticity, and setting clear expectations of what you expect. And empathy allows you to do that. It allows you to express your thoughts, because the dark feminine is really, she's a woman who's mastered all of these levels and multi-dimensions. And you know what? Sometimes you will go back to your light feminine or dark feminine. You switch between the two. Like I said, go watch the masterclass, because, all of that is explained in there. So you can understand the difference between light feminine energy and dark feminine energy. And integrating your dark feminine energy allows you to cultivate a sense of depth and emotional wisdom. You might be delving into very meaningful conversations and expressing your intuition, embracing assertiveness when it comes to your needs and your desires within the relationship. So again, it also applies into all of this. And I'd like to touch on the fact that the thing with dark feminine energy, especially if you've had abuse later, early on in life, you would have been introduced to an energy that kind of conflicts sometimes with your beliefs. You may be stuck in the space where, but I like it. I like that I'm a sexual being. But there's also guilt and shame that covers all of that, allowing you not to even express. And more than anything, not even allowing you to express in your clothing. And you hide in tracksuits. You hide in not loving your body. And your body becomes such a shame point. Empathy is one of those things that really allows you, especially when you're dressing yourself, to look at yourself with eyes of empathy. As an abuse victim myself, I remember learning how to see my body, because before it represented a symbol of attack. It represented a symbol of shame and just guilt, and it's one of those things that we really like to address, but in very close community settings, because it can be quite triggering. And sometimes the reason that it triggers you is because you have not dealt with the things that you need to be dealing with. So I'm really going to leave you on that point, because it's really all about finding balance between strength and vulnerability, assertiveness and empathy, as well as intuition and understanding. And especially in the context of romantic relationship, empathy can really be a superpower. And I have talked about awareness and I've talked about other things, but empathy is just another addition to that whole recipe. But if there's anything at all that has resonated with you, this video and any one of our videos, do book a call. Talk to someone who can allow you to really experience true love in 2024, and also experience true acceptance, because that's where it starts. Because empathy allows you to really accept yourself for all of who you are, even that shame thing, all the things that happened to you in the past, because technically you're not a past, but unfortunately, because your body has stored all of those memories, it's about unlocking your body. And again, I'd encourage you to book with Shani so you can go through some somatic exercises to release that tension within your body. There's so much more we can offer you here at the Blackswan Relationship Academy. But for time's sake, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. Until next time, remember, you are definitely loved. And in 2024, girl, we are taking down those walls. We're loving again. We're expressing again. We are being sensual again. Toodles.